The galaxy is vast, ancient, and full of power beyond human comprehension. Empires rise and fall, superweapons are forged and forgotten. Entire civilizations disappear into the void, wiped away by forces greater than themselves. But among all the species that have ever walked the stars, only one has defied every expectation, survived every attempt at annihilation, and risen from every defeat stronger than before. That species is humanity. At first, no one took notice of them. They were an unremarkable species on a minor planet orbiting a nondescript star in the outer spiral arm of an average galaxy. They were small, fragile, and short-lived. They had no natural armor, no biological weapons, no telepathic abilities, nothing that made them stand out among the countless other primitive species scattered across the cosmos. If anything, they seemed destined for extinction. Their world was hostile, plagued with natural disasters, violent predators, and endless internal conflicts. They warred among themselves constantly, wasted resources, and pushed their planet's ecosystem to the brink of collapse. The galactic community watched from afar, certain that these creatures would self-destruct long before they ever posed a threat. But then, something strange happened. Instead of dying out, they thrived. Despite their wars, they grew stronger. Despite their flawed bodies, they conquered disease. Despite their limited lifespans, they built civilizations that endured for millennia. And despite all logic, they left their planet behind, pushing out into the void with nothing but fragile metal shells and an unshakable determination to see what lay beyond the next horizon. That was when the Universal Council first took notice. At first, they assumed the humans could be contained. They were technologically behind, barely capable of interplanetary travel. The Council had seen countless species reach this stage and destroy themselves. It was a delicate moment in any civilization's history, one where a single misstep could mean extinction. But humanity did not make that misstep. Instead, they accelerated. They advanced at an unprecedented rate, pushing the limits of physics, adapting technology they barely understood, and refining it into something even deadlier. They colonized harsh worlds, survived conditions no other species would dare endure, and did so with a speed that defied all predictions. The Council grew uneasy. This species was not following the usual pattern. They were not slowing down. They were not destroying themselves. If anything, hardship only seemed to make them stronger. A decision was made. Humanity was deemed a threat to galactic stability. If left unchecked, they would soon outgrow their home system. They would expand, conquer, and become a force that could not be controlled. The solution was obvious. They had to be eliminated before they could spread any further. The first attempt was subtle, biological warfare. A pathogen was engineered in secret, designed to target human DNA with precision. It was introduced to Earth's ecosystem gradually, unnoticed at first. The Council expected a slow, quiet extinction. It had worked countless times before. But the humans did not die. Instead, they fought back with a speed and ingenuity that defied reason. Their scientists, working in chaotic, decentralized labs, cracked the virus's code in record time. They modified their own immune systems, developed countermeasures, and within months, the plague was eradicated. Worse, their immune systems became more resistant to future engineered viruses. What was meant to be their doom had only made them stronger. The Council was alarmed. A second attempt was made. This time, they deployed an artificial intelligence war fleet, machines immune to hacking, emotionless, unstoppable, designed for one purpose: human extinction. The machines arrived in Earth's orbit, unleashed devastation upon their cities, and began systematically wiping out their infrastructure. But then, something impossible happened. The humans hacked the machines. They took control of the very weapons designed to destroy them, rewrote their programming, and turned them against their creators. The fleet that was meant to exterminate them became their own personal army. The Council watched in horror as the war machines, now under human command, began to evolve, learning new tactics, upgrading their systems, and spreading across the stars under human control. A third attempt was made. This time, there would be no half measures. The Council launched the largest invasion force in history. A full-scale planetary assault. Millions of warships, billions of soldiers, enough firepower to crack a planet in half. The goal was simple: erase humanity from existence. The first wave of the invasion was devastating. Earth's defenses were obliterated, cities fell, the human race teetered on the edge of extinction. And then, everything changed. The moment the invaders set foot on human soil, the war became something the galaxy had never seen before. Humanity did not fight like other species. They did not surrender when outnumbered. They did not break when their world burned. Instead, they adapted. They turned every city into a battlefield, every building into a fortress, every street into a death trap. They fought with weapons, with knives, with bare hands if necessary. Civilians became soldiers overnight. Every death only fueled their resolve. The war, which was supposed to last days, stretched into months, then years. The greatest military force in galactic history found itself in a nightmare from which it could not wake. It was not a war of conquest anymore. It was a war of attrition. And against humans, that was a war no one could win. The Council's forces, once invincible, began to crumble. Their supply lines were cut. Their generals assassinated. Their armies demoralized by an enemy that refused to die. Every battle lost made the humans smarter. Every new weapon used against them was reverse-engineered and improved. By the time the Council realized the war was lost, it was too late. The invasion force collapsed. The armada that had darkened Earth's skies was reduced to burning wreckage. The few survivors fled, carrying with them a horrifying realization: humanity had won. But the true nightmare had only just begun. The humans did not stop at survival. They did not retreat into the shadows, content to lick their wounds. They pursued. Their fleets, once non-existent, began to spread. Their technology, once primitive, became the most advanced in the galaxy. Their military, once outmatched, became unstoppable. One by one, the civilizations that had once plotted their destruction fell. The Council's strongholds were wiped from existence. The empires that had once ruled the galaxy were reduced to ruins. The species that had once looked down upon humanity were now the ones begging for mercy. And humanity had no mercy left to give. The final message from Earth was clear: we do not forget. We do not forgive. We are coming. Now, the galaxy is silent, watching, waiting, hoping against all reason that humanity's wrath will one day be satisfied. But deep down, everyone knows the truth. The human problem was never that they were weak. The problem was that they were strong in a way the universe had never encountered before. They did not fear extinction. They thrived on it. They did not rely on evolution to shape them. They shaped themselves. The question is no longer whether humanity can be stopped. That question has already been answered. They cannot be stopped. The only question that remains is, who will be next?